Wooden Desk Bible Reviews. We're going to be doing another review on a local church Bible publisher's Bible. This is sure to be an interesting review because most people don't ever see one like this. Here we have a local church 115 text block, which I believe is the Cambridge Cameo. And this Bible is a compact Bible. It's a smaller compact Bible. Your hand is a little bit bigger than it. And this Bible, what makes it unique is the fact that, number one, it's camo. And if that wasn't enough, it's a suede leather. Now this suede leather has got a semi-rough texture, and it has a nice white stitching to make it stand out. And what else you can see in this Bible is that while it's not as soft as a calfskin, it makes it a great throw-around Bible, so to speak. One that you can put in your vehicle, your truck, your car, take with you if you were doing a ministry or something, to where if you rub this the wrong way, it's not really going to do anything because it's, number one, it's suede, and number two, this camo pattern that's been printed onto this is not gonna show much. Matter of fact, I accidentally was putting it in my car today, and it slipped out of my hand right as I was putting it in the door panel, and it hit the gravel. Well, I picked it up and there was nothing wrong with it. You couldn't even tell it. So whenever we look at this Bible, we don't see, it strikes you odd at first because you don't see something like this. Well, what we're going to show you is that it's a pretty cool little Bible, and it grows on you the more you use it. On the side here, to accent it, they put gold stamping of Holy Bible, Authorized King James, and Church for local church Bible publishers. This has got a nice camo pattern on it, as well as it being a suede. It is an interesting feel. It's a feel that you don't normally associate with the Bible. It reminds you of a pair of suede boots in a way, and it almost has a smell similar to that of a pair of suede boots. So whenever we look into this Bible, we see that you have a synthetic liner, and it's actually kind of a nice soft synthetic liner, and then it's perimeter stitched with that nice white stitching we were looking at a second ago. And then, like all their Bibles, it's edge-lined, thus giving it more strength on the spine and making the cover stronger to where it doesn't wear out as fast. And even though it is, a suede, the synthetic liner plus the softness of the suede allows it to still be flexible. It's not going to be the same as a calfskin. However, it is a kind of a work-type Bible. It's kind of a meant-to-be-used look because it's rugged. It has more of an outdoors look. And while you may not use this out in the woods, or you might, some people can go out in the woods and read their Bible, just don't drop it on the ground, because you might not find it depending on where you live. Now, let's go on to the next features of it. Whenever we open up this Bible, we get past that page, we got cardstock pages. Looks like about 3 separate pages of those, and you got the backs and front. And then we have the first page. Down here we have our sticker that has their website. It is item number 115, Camo Green. They have Camo Tan and Camo Pink. Manufacturing date was 3/16. Once you get past this page, you then have the translators to the readers. Now, once you get past the translators to the readers, I can't remember if there's a preface to the Epistle to King James, I think is what it's called. I can't remember if that one's in here. I can't tell right now with one hand. That one might be in there. It has the books of the Old and New Testaments in order. And then once you get past this page, it has self-pronouncing text, so it gives you the key for that. And it shows you for each letter how it's pronounced. And then you get straight into the text. Text is a bold 8.5 point font with center column reference. You, for the most part, have a fairly consistent printing. I've had one 115 before that didn't have the most consistent printing. I was also kind of told that that's kind of an attribute with their photocopying, I believe. But for the most part, it's a good bold look. It doesn't have, it's not real hard to read because of its boldness. And it has, a fairly decent margin down at the bottom, and then a very small margin, probably half an inch on the sides. So whenever we get in here, we'll see that the references are done in letters. So we have an R on verse 3 of 103 in Psalm that says, "Who forgiveth all thine iniquities, who healeth all thy diseases." So R, if we look over here, has a reference for Psalm 130 verse 8. So let's very quickly turn over to 130 verse 8, and we'll show you about how this works. So we have 136, 132, 130. 130 verse 8 says, "And he shall redeem Israel from all his iniquities." Make sure it doesn't go on this side. So it's a reference system that has to do with letters, and occasionally it will have a reference that tells you the Hebrew definition. Now, as you can see, that Hebrew definition is a little light or lean on the print on that particular part. So it does have a few inconsistencies with its print. However, most of them are all readable. So just know that whenever you buy one of these, that you may have that issue occasionally. Not all of it is bad, but there are a few spots that may have that. So once we get through here, we see towards the end that this Bible does have a concordance. Once we get to the front of the concordance, we'll take a look and see how it's laid out. So it says concordance to the Old and New Testaments. So you go through here, you have your entire concordance. They give you an example of what the concordance looks like. If you're looking for the word favor, it has different verses. Some of them are partially written out, and some of them are just written in their abbreviated form. And then once we get to the end of this concordance, once we finally get there somewhere, we have a few, it's like, we have 3 blank pages, front and back, of Bible type paper, these thin pages. And then we have the cardstock pages that have the maps on them. So an example of one of the maps would be Jerusalem in the time of Christ. That's an example of one of them. And then we go and finish up to the end of this, and we have more cardstock paper, which, as I've said before, is very excellent for writing down notes. You don't really have to worry about bleed through because of its thickness. Once you get past the cardstock paper, you have this end note paper, and then the synthetic liner is edge lined into here, and your stamping says genuine leather, made in America. And then you've reached about all that there is to know about the Bible. You have 2 black ribbons that go along with this color scheme, and then the gold. They have, as I said before, have 2 other colors other than this one. You have the tan and the pink. The tan has a nice look as well. I do not currently have that one for review. If I ever do, I will put it on here. That way you can see the difference in the 2 colors. I know there are some other videos out there that have the tan, which if you're interested in the tan, I would suggest watching. That way you can see the difference. But as far as the text goes, it is a standard 115. I have taken this Bible for the past couple days and worked it in a little bit to get that tightness out of it, because the 115, I've had 2 seem to be pretty tight when you first get them out of the box, because they don't want to lay flat. They'll want to close on themselves. And this one's gotten where once you use it a little bit, it likes to lay flat. It's not too big of a deal, and it becomes a good handy Bible. You can take this Bible, read it when you go to bed, take it out and surprise people because you have a camo Bible that's actually got suede on it. And it's a Bible that will attract some attention too. On the sides here, we have a nice gold gilding here. And you got a black and yellow headband with 2 of the black ribbons. And it's done very nicely. The corner work on these is pretty good as well. No problems there. They're well made. And even though they're suede, I highly doubt that they will fall apart any sooner than one of the calfskins will. And you know, they feel pretty tough, so you could use these Bibles if you were a construction worker and you wanted to keep a Bible in your truck, or you're a hunter and you want to keep them in your truck. You know, that kind of thing would be especially good for it. A good work, more of a Bible that you wouldn't want to take your calfskin Bible into. This Bible fits the bill. And if you just want a camo Bible that looks cool, this Bible fits it too, because it's got a good look. It looks interesting. It stands out. And I think if you want a soft cover, this particular one isn't super soft, but it's not super rough either. But if you just want a nice camo Bible that's got suede, and suede appeals to you, it's a great choice. These Bibles go for $47 retail on local church, unless the price has changed. And they are a great little Bible that has references, and they make a great study tool or travel tool, you know, if you're going somewhere and you want to have your Bible with you. So that's what we have today, is the local church Bible Publishers 115 Camo Green. And if you'd like the videos and you'd like to see more, please like and subscribe and share. This has been Wooden Desk Bible Reviews. Thanks, and have a good day.